Woo, Ryan, guess what? It's show number 100.
Say the meat glitter make that kitty quiver. I'm just saying. Check this out.
Yeah, Steve, let's see your wiener.
Bless.
There you go. When you take your shirt off, does it match your chest hair?
You okay, Ryan?
Yep.
You took a little too big of a gulp, didn't you? Got a little brave.
No, this one's, I mean.
Good evening, everybody. It's Thursday night. It's another edition of Thursday Night BBQ Chat. I am Steve Kress. I am with It's All About the Barbecue. And during the week, you can find me working in lovely, beautiful Wanamakers in downtown Downers Grove, Illinois. And the person sitting next to me is...
Who is it?
Obviously not Ryan. We've played it up. And we have the one, the only barbecuer, open fire pit, steak champion, open fire champion. No, you were never an open fire champion. But she does everything and anything. She's been on TV. She's been everywhere. She's been on an island. She's been a castaway.
It's true.
The
Very
one,
true.
the only, Sunny Moody.
Hey, it's fun to co-host with you tonight.
Kind of scoot over a little bit. Kind of see the screen next to you. That's the Instagram feed. There you go. So
There.
there.
Okay,
Yeah.
There we go.
I feel like you're so fancy looking, and I'm just sitting here and all humbled.
I'm not.
So everybody,
not fancy
welcome
looking.
again. How you doing, Sonny? Welcome to
I'm
to
good.
being a host of the show.
I know, right? That's kind of cool.
I
No,
know.
I'm doing good. I've taken some time off from traveling, which has been great. I haven't been doing quite as much, and now I'm getting ready to ramp up and hit the road again. So crazy, yeah.
It's always you should have a little thing. You know, we're in the U.S. We're sunny in
Yes.
the U.S. of A.
Everybody always asks me that. They're like, "Where are you this week?"
So funny story that involves Sunny and myself and timing and everything. We were on our way back from Florida. I texted Sunny to see if she was okay. We were literally like on our way. We drove through Nashville, and I'm not even lying. So Sunny, when I text you, I wasn't even lying. We drove through Nashville. We got to Clarksville. As soon as we got to Clarksville at the hotel, our phone starts going off, and there's these like tornado warnings,
Yep.
and they're like, "Oh, it's at Fort something or other." And I'm like, "Well," I told Trisha, I said, "Well, we better get in the hotel because that's like right down the road over there, not like right down the road, but a little bit down." And then we got in the hotel, like, "Oh, don't worry, it's in Nashville." And then I'm like, "Oh my God, it's going like right over where I don't know where she lives now because we were at your old house, me
Yep.
and Tom." And then I'm like, "I don't know where she lives now." I said, "But it's going like right over like where Sunny's at." So I texted her to see if she was alive and everything was okay. And of course, I had to continue the conversation. She says, "Yes, everything's fine." A little crazy. And then I'm like, I had to continue the conversation. It's like, dude, it's like, what are you doing? It's like, she's probably just trying to make sure all the kids are safe and everything's okay. And you're getting in the way. So, well, I'm glad everything was okay. You know, I'm sitting in my hotel, like having dinner, and I'm like, well, I hope she's okay.
That's right. You were like, "She's in Nashville. She's going to be hit." It was totally fine, thankfully. But that was good.
Well, it was just weird because it's just like, you know, you're right. It looked like right where Hendersonville type of thing was. And I was kind of
Yeah,
like,
we do have a lot of warnings that come through here and stuff, so it's not surprising.
All righty. Well, let me see if I can find Ryan. Obviously, is not here, ladies and gentlemen. So I do apologize to our sponsors. We may have a sponsor video. We may not, because I'm trying to find where he keeps everything. And he's done a really good job at job security this week. And I can't find anything this week. So we might not have sponsors. So I think I can go to, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cheat, and I'm just going to go to there.
There you
We'll
go.
No fancy sponsor video.
It's not fancy this week, but we're going to have fun.
Fancy. We're going to have fun. So anyway, so it was supposed to be Tung Nguyen this one, as I said, and I'm sure saying his name wrong. He had to do a video shoot with Cosmo Q. So obviously, what do? You ask your co-host, who should we have? And she came up with two names. And then I'm like, okay. I reached out to the one. She was busy. And then I got a hold of the other. I always appreciate guests who can come on. But then as I texted Sonny, it was actually, I was not going to lie to you. It was Susie Bullock and Christie Vanover. And then I'm like, well, I don't know if I want to be the only guy on a show with three like strong women. I would feel like, you know, because I would just kind of like sit in the corner because you guys would probably take over the show because you guys are so good at what you do. And so anyway, so Christy said she could do it. So let's bring on the one, the only Christie Vanover. I think she's
Yay.
Yay, there she is.
Hi guys.
Hi, Christy. Thanks
Hi.
again for hopping on and being our guest on such super short notice. When I say short notice, ladies and gentlemen, it was yesterday at probably like 5 or 6 o'clock, 4 or 5 o'clock that I got a hold of her, and she said yes. So, well, welcome, Christy. Long time no see.
Happy to be here, even if I am third string. It's fine.
No, you're not. You're not third string. There was going to be a show. I was saying in the green room, there was going to be a show with you in mind specifically. But we're going to talk about that stuff today, because if you go back and watch the last time Christy was on the show, she was saying lots of stuff that came true. She's very good at just scooting around what she really wants to say and kind of not really saying what it is, really what she was going to say. And
she leaves little hints. It's awesome.
We'll get to the one right off the bat. And one was that we were talking about how great it would be if the open fire meetup and regular barbecue competitions could get together. And she's like, oh, well, something like that might be. And then a month later, it's like Memphis in May open fire meetup. So that's awesome. How much work did it go into doing that?
Yeah, thanks. A lot, but we have the most amazing team that it just is fun the entire time. So Al had been working for a while to bring a World Championships to Memphis, and as it was under development with Mike Starr as well, they just said, hey, can you come in and kind of work with us as an organizer, because that's what I've been doing for them in Texas. And I was like, yeah, let's do this. And through those conversations, we started talking more and more about the live fire community and live fire competition and my background in competition, and just decided there was room and there was time and there was a place for the Live Fire Cooking Association. And so it all just kind of we had the right people in the right room at the right time, and it all came together.
It's awesome. I'm super excited for it because, as you know, we do live fire, but it's just barely taking off in the US. Mm-hmm. It's elsewhere, around the world, but it is just barely taking off in the US. So to be able to have these competitions, now the association is going to be huge. It's going to bring more light and more awareness to live fire cooking.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. And you're right. It is a global phenomenon. It's not a US thing. And that's what's been so awesome about the Texas Open Fire Meetup and even the Memphis in May World Championships is it was for sure a world championship. We had so many people from so many different countries, and that's where we want to go with this, not just having, just competitions throughout the US, but expanding globally. Yeah.
It was really cool too, because we included the kids in the live fire one.
Including your daughter.
Yes. Yeah. She did amazing. So she actually did the NBBQA one first. Mm-hmm. So she did that one here in Nashville, and they become the national pork world champions, which was really cool. Yep. And then she went and competed at that one too, which was just phenomenal to have 6 kids compete on their own with no help from anybody, be able to compete in live fire and show their skills. Yeah. And now she's doing it again, in September, but we have all these other kids that want to get involved too. So it's not just barbecue. It's not just smokers and grilling. They're learning other execution methods. So it's really, really neat to see all of this come together.
Yeah, thanks. And Sunny judged at the World Championship. She was one of our official judges. So
okay, I have to tell you, because I can talk about it. So that was amazing. I'm not gonna lie, because it was like an immersive experience. You would walk into Canada, for example, a team from Canada, and it was like, let me present my culture to you. Mm-hmm. Unbelievable. And then we went to Argentina, and then I had Ireland. I had 6 different countries, and it was like, everyone was so unique. It was unbelievable, because different cooking styles, different food styles, different cultures. But it wasn't just, here's food on a plate, try it.
Yeah.
It was an immersive experience, which was like unbelievable to be a part of.
And that's honestly what I love about the LFCA. I love KCBS. I love SCA. I've been cooks for those
same.
for years, and I love the way those work. But with LFCA, this allows you to be completely creative. You choose your protein, you choose your sides. It's not in a box. You can tell your story through food, which is why so many of us like food in the first place, is that we're so passionate about how a dish came together. And so this gives you all of that creativity and all that ability to be more than just 6 pieces of meat in a box or a steak in a box. And there's a place for that. And I'm still going to compete in all of those and organize all those contests. But I really love the direction that we're going with the LFCA.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, even for you, Steve, like if you were to come to any of these, you know, the burgers that we did in our backyard, it was creativity. Right. You know, we were each competing and doing different burgers. You can't do that with the other organizations. It's, you know, you have to adhere by strict rules and stuff. So this one allows that creativity.
Well, and that's what we've been saying since the show's been on, and you know, Smoke Slam and all that other stuff. When we would talk about it, that was always what I would get to on the show, is that traditional barbecue, as we all love it. I love traditional barbecue. I love the traditions of it. I love it. But from something that needs fans and people to grow, it especially now with modern technology, there's really almost no need to come out of your trailer, because you can read everything on your little, you know, whatever it is, fireboard or whatever you have. It's right there. You got you can go out every once in a while and spritz if you want to do whatever you want to, but there's really no fan participation of it. And the open fire just adds that whole other world to it. And everybody's a character. I mean, we've had Ty Cranmore on there from Fat Ox. We had the guys on from Germany, the Fuego del Norte. And then we just most recently had the Flaming Mongrels from Australia were on. So, I mean, it's just like, and it is, and like Christie was saying, everybody brings, and Sunny as well, they all bring their culture to it. They're all cooking different things. And it just seems like such an experience to do the open fire. But I mean, so was the Memphis and May one, was that part of the FCA, or is the FCA still in its
so the LFCA? So yes, LFCA. It was technically the first competition that followed the LFCA, I guess, sanctioning whole standard. So Open Fire Meetup in Texas follows the standards, but we didn't have the app developed yet. So Mike worked with a guy to develop our scoring app. So everything is all on your phone. You basically go to a certain website and you log in as a judge and you do all of your scoring through the phone. So it was awesome. Yeah, you don't have to write it on paper and try to remember stuff, and we don't have to try to figure out if it's a 6 or a 9 or, you know, whatever it is. So it's all, so yes, Memphis ran with the scoring app, and the rules were a little bit more expanded because it was a world championship. So they had to do like soup and appetizer and dessert and all sorts of stuff. But we've got the fine-tuned rules for those who want to organize a contest anywhere in the world, that you would follow those rules with basically an entree, which includes a protein, a starch, and a vegetable. And then if you want to add ancillary categories like desserts and stuff, you can, but you follow the same set of rules, and then you use the scoring app. And what makes it really unique also, in addition to the teams being able to be creative, is the openness of it all. So we have 2 categories. There's either, your contest can either be open fire or live fire. The main difference is that either way, your fire has to be alive. So it has to run on a live fire, being either charcoal or wood. No gas, no electric, propane, pellets. Yeah, no propane. And I should do a quick plug that Duraflame is actually our first official exclusive charcoal sponsor for the LFCA. Yay! So yes, we're so grateful and thankful they've been with us from the beginning. And so they're our official fuel sponsor. But we also have, so like I said, there's live fire and open fire. Both are live fires. The only difference is that open fire is no lids. Live fire, you can have a lid. So think of it as a Weber kettle. You either can have a Weber kettle with a lid, that's live fire, or a Weber kettle with no lid, and that's open fire. So the contest can be either. But what makes that great is if you're open fire, now the public, like you said, they can come and they can watch it. So the problem when, as an organizer, contest organizer myself, is when you're trying to get sponsors, but all the teams are hiding in their trailers and all their food is closed down in drums or jambos, there's nothing for the public to see. So there's no real return on investment for the public to come in, or the sponsors to sponsor them. But with open fire, we put on a show, and so the sponsors love it, the public loves it, and the teams love it because they love showing off and sharing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and we have so many different apparatuses out there for cooking open fire, which is really, really neat to see. That's an
Mhm.
experience in itself.
Yes.
Just walking around and being able to see all these different cooking techniques.
Some that people just build in their backyards. So you don't have to have a ton of money. Like you
No.
can go just get a Weber kettle, or there's a lot of people out there who weld and they just come up with their own cool contraptions. And yeah, that's just
Yep.
as cool as the food they create.
Absolutely.
All right, let's try and get some comments on here if I can do this without losing us. Greg Schneider, Greg, thanks to see you. Always good to see you on. I don't know if you're watching live with Ashley and Mark, but they were just on. He says, good evening. Got Tom there, Mr. Happy Pappy Pepper Powder. He's on every week. Gotta love him. I love you, Tom. This can go either way. I'm assuming it's a Steve quit talking so much. It's either because Christie and Sonny were taking over the show and talking, which is absolutely fine. Obviously, as everybody knows, I am a barbecue fanatic geek. So if I can listen to two good barbecue pit masters just talk shop, I'm willing to sit and watch the show with you guys. Or it could be that I was saying too much and Steve shut up so we can listen to Christie and Sonny. And then Warren says, my good friend Gary's wife is an excellent grill person. Her ribs are like butter. Excellent.
Nice.
I don't know what I did. What's your favorite consistency of ribs? Do you
I
like
like
the one
them-
bite, or do you like to fall off the bone, or do you like the?
I like them in the middle. I like them a little bit over the clean bite, a little bit more towards the tender, but not fall off the bone.
Same.
Yeah.
Now we were down at the shed, and whoever was cooking near Ray Little Gringa, they gave me one of his ribs. Dude, it was like melt in your mouth. It was like butter. I had never tasted a consistency of a rib like that ever in my life, and I was kind of like wowed by it because I've never tasted it. I'm always like you. I do kind of like more like the firm. I do like some tenderness, but I do like the firm bite type of thing. And I was just kind of like, wow, is this like really a thing? It like melted. So anyway, back to the live fire thing. So go all the way. Who came up with the idea? I mean, how did it? I'm always amazed by people who come up with things because it's like, okay,
Sure.
how does it start from a conversation to the actual thing? Kind of like Al with we're just, and those guys, the original 13, we're just going to go sit around and hang out during COVID and cook stuff to, 1,500 people meeting at a ranch and having teams from all over the world and stuff like that. What's the first conversation?
Yeah, I really think it started with Al and Mike before I was involved. I think they had just talked about it and thought about how, creating structure. Mike's been in the competition side of things, whether it's at the Shed or Memphis, and understood that world. And obviously Al understands his live fire world and the global influence and throwing an amazing event, an amazing party. So I think the two of them started talking about it. And then when I was in conversations with them with the Texas Open Fire meetup, I was like, yeah, this is where I want to be. Like, I want to play on this playground too. So can I join you guys? I bring the organizer, competition, judge side of it all. So I think I'd be a good fit. And they, had conversations and agreed to bring me in as a co-founder. And yeah, here we are. So then from there, we just continuously are having meetings and evolving and adapting. And I'm more the technical guru in the bunch. So I'm the one who created the website and the membership platform and mailing out all the membership cards to all of our new members. And they're the visionaries who are thinking of really cool and great ideas and, finding those international teams and bringing them in and helping to build it that way and through social media and stuff too.
Well, I mean, Christie did make the barbecue jackpot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So tell us about it.
Yeah.
It's actually really exciting.
And you know what? And it's kind of funny because I think you were on the show just about a year ago because we were right before the barbecue jackpot. Because I remember talking about how fast it sold out, how fast this year. Because again, it's like I wasn't going to have you on the show, but then I'm watching and you're like, oh, after an hour, we're already up to like 80, 75 teams or something like that. I'm like, oh my God, she's on fire again.
Yeah.
You're paying off.
I think in 10 minutes, well, for those who don't know, Barbecue Jackpot is a KCBS competition in Vegas. This is year 3. The first year it sold out in a couple hours. The second year it sold out in a couple days because we were able to fit more teams. And then this year within, I think it was 10 minutes, we had like 50 teams and then it ended up selling out in 31 hours. So
That's
right now,
awesome.
I know we have 97 teams from, I think it's 23 states and a few from Canada. Judges are actually blocked. We had 189 judges apply. We need 150. So like those are already, all those spots are filled. I'm still inviting judges. So they haven't all been told yet that they're who's accepted. But now the third component is that we are adding a live fire, an LFCA competition to it. So this is actually the first LFCA on the books since
Sanctioning.
Memphis.
Yeah.
So
That's
that's
awesome.
not a world championship. So, but it's so new. So that one hasn't sold out yet. I've got 15 spots and we've got 7 filled. So there's 8 spaces still available. I just actually posted a video right before the show, kind of letting
saw
people
it.
know that. And yeah, I'm excited for it because last year at Barbecue Jackpot, we had an area called Barbecue Pit Stop, which was kind of a mini thing like we did at Smoke Slammer Memphis in May, where we have sponsors out there grilling, doing live fire demos, serving up samples to the public. So same kind of concept. We had the live fire like public component last year at Barbecue Jackpot. And now this year, I'm excited that we're adding the actual competition side of it too.
Yeah.
Is that the most, that 97 teams? Is that the most you've had, or?
Yeah, I think last year we were up to 104, and then teams always drop out. You're always going to have, an amount that drops out. We have, I think, like 10 or so on the wait list. I just don't have room for it because we're making room for LFCA this year. So I had to go a little bit smaller on the KCBS side, and because KCBS teams, myself totally included, I'm so guilty. We want a lot of space.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, for sure. We
it's
have
not
to.
a 10 by 10.
No.
It's like a 20 by 60 is what people want. So
That's because we're bringing our rigs and we're cooking overnight. Like it's totally different.
Yeah, I could fit 200 teams in like 10 by 10 spots, but it's
not going to work.
No. So
you gotta have the trailers and everything. So I could see it.
Yeah.
Happy Pappy wanted to know what is the typical entrance fee for competing in barbecue competitions? But that's a pretty good question.
Yeah, sure. So it definitely varies. I can speak for, some of the ones I've competed in has been as low as like $250. Some of them have been $900 if you're talking about a double with multiple ancillaries. For my contest, they start at $300 for the smaller spaces and they go all the way up to $500 for the big spaces. And then for the LFCA, it's $300 for my contest, but those will generally probably be in the $250 to $350 range, depending on the contest and location.
Yep.
And then what is that? Sonny, well, both of you, for the SCA and stuff like that, those are usually lower entry but bigger payouts.
They are, because you're just doing a steak. So right now they're running at about 160 entry fee for one steak. If you do a double, obviously it's more, and then there's ancillaries on top of that. But if you just decide to do one steak, it's 160. You have the Rib Cook-Off Association now too, which does theirs. You have the MBN competition. So it honestly just depends on which sanctioning body you're wanting to participate in.
Mm-hmm. And it depends. Every location has different expenses. I will say holding a contest in Vegas is not cheap. It's in the tens of thousands of dollars to get a location in Vegas to make it happen. Whereas something in Arkansas in a field, you're not going to have that kind of stuff. But prize purses also vary too. I have a $20,000 prize purse. Some contests are like $7,000 prize purses or less if it's like an SCA. So it kind of evens out with the more you put in, usually the more you can get out.
Yes, correct. I agree with that completely.
So my good friend Adam is on here. Oops, I hit it, but I says, hi, Stephen friends. Adam is, he used to buy product from me at Wanamaker. Actually, he still does. And actually, Adam, I think that you're low on Smoke and Ghost Rub. I think you messaged me that a while ago, and I think I forgot until right now. He used to be in the Air Force. He's pretty close to retiring, I believe, if he hasn't already. He was over in Germany, so I was sending him product over to Germany. So that's how we met. Now he's in Arizona. So now he's asking for samples of competition cooked meat from Sonny and from Christie. And I'm just like, I'm about ready to say, it's like, Adam, you're in Arizona. You're really close to Las Vegas. So you can go to the barbecue.
You can go to that one. Absolutely.
You can go to the barbecue jackpot, and even a better time, you're not that far, probably a day trip or so, to Hondo, to the open fire meetup. So you can go to both of these
things. You could do both and
Yeah.
try all amazing samples.
Mhm.
Yep.
And then you're jealous because I really want to get out to Hondo really bad. I just don't have the time to go and do it. So
Yeah, it's
vacation
a good time.
I got time. I just don't have the vacation time. Work gets in the way of all the things you want to do. So, all All right. What do we want to? Where were we at? We're on the barbecue.
Barbecue jackpot, which is
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, one more thing I'm sorry I should say about the barbecue jackpot. It is actually a qualifier for the Barbecue World Cup. So for those who don't know, the Barbecue World Cup is that competition in Vegas in 2027 for the winner will get $1 million. So that's that one that was announced, I think, back in December or January.
Yeah.
Announcing that. And so I'm actually, that's not my contest. It just happens to also be in Vegas. But the barbecue jackpot, the GC and the RGC will actually both get an invite to the World Cup. And it's one of the last contests for the 2027 World Cup. So that's also, I think, why we sold out so fast, because the teams that are chasing that prize were like, we got to get in for this, this last, one of the last opportunities to get it.
Yeah. Last little bump. Mm-hmm. But for the live fire too, they actually get a golden ticket or a ticket into the open fire championship too.
That's right. That's right.
Ooh, where's the open fire championship going to be?
Most likely Memphis again, but I know they're working on those details. Yeah.
Always trying to get a scoop. You know what I'm saying? I'm always trying to get a scoop. I'm trying to stay away from the 300-pound subject that we were all told we can't talk about. So I'm trying to get scoops elsewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I have a question for you then, Christy. So are you competing anymore? I get asked this all the time. So are you competing anymore, or have you moved more to the promoter judging side of things?
Yes. So I still love competing. And one of the things I love about it is traveling with my family. Honestly, that's my favorite part of it, is being with my parents and my in-laws and my husband. And, they're not my husband, but the others are in their 70s. So, just enjoying those moments with them and over fire. Like that's what barbecue's all about. So yes, I just competed in Idaho back in June. And then I'm going to be competing in Boise at the Meat and Tater contest. That's in, I think, Labor Day weekend in September. So those are both KCBS. I also want to squeeze in a judging sometime before the Jack. I'll be judging the Jack again since I didn't get a bung this year, which will be in October. And I'd love to do another judging before then. But yeah, I kind of still like to dip my toe in all three things. And I think it makes me more well-rounded, because if I'm in the judges' tent, I see what the teams are doing. I see what the judges need. If I'm competing, I know what the teams need. Obviously, I've done that for a long time. And then as an organizer, it really makes me a better organizer to understand the judges' needs and the team's needs.
Yeah, totally fair. I completely agree with that. What you guys don't know is Christy and I actually started, I think, at the same time in KCBS.
Yeah, I was 2017. You might have been a little bit
17
before
too.
me. Oh, okay. Wow. And that's when she was in Arizona
at the time. So we competed at some of the same competitions and stuff. So it was actually really awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, look at you guys. Well,
no, bet you didn't know we went back that far.
Yeah.
I didn't know that you. I didn't. Let's see, but I was watching something, but I don't know. Maybe it was. Oh, I think it was. I think I was watching the beginning of the thing we can't talk about, and I think Susie was mentioning. Susie was mentioning that the barbecue community is so small, and that you're really only 3 or 4 people away from knowing somebody that knows somebody else. So that's why you really have to be careful what you say about people in the barbecue world, because you never know who knows who. So you always should probably play nice.
It's worse than the Kevin Bacon effect.
Yeah, right.
Seriously.
So Happy Pappy's really asking it, and I'm assuming Christy can only speak for her contest, but he wants to know about the cost for being a vendor and not a contestant, because he does a pepper rub. I don't know what I did with it. I think I have it over there in a bag so Ryan can taste it. But he's a small pepper powder company out of Georgia. It's actually really good, and I'm sure he's probably looking for places to vend. But what is the vendor booth cost at?
That too also varies dramatically. Some contests don't have vendors at all. Some will charge you an upfront fee and then you can vend whatever. Some will charge you an upfront fee and then also charge a percentage of your sales, or some will just do percentage of sales. And some may not charge at all if it's like a nonprofit and they're just bringing people in. So it really varies. I have not had vendors at my contest yet. I wanted to start small and make it perfect for the competitors. And then last year, like I said, I added that public live fire component. And then this year I'm adding LFCA. I do have some vendors who've expressed interest. And so I am going to talk to the county, because that's a whole nother permitting thing. But I'm talking to the county. But my trepidation with adding vendors is that I don't have the room, because I sell out with teams and teams on the wait list. I would rather make room for the teams that want to compete as opposed to giving a 10 by 10 space to a vendor. But like I said, this year I may have a couple, and then I'll always reevaluate for future years because we just keep growing.
And then I have over on Instagram. Sorry, everybody that's on Instagram. It doesn't show up on our little feed thing over here, so I don't see it as quickly. It looks like Ty from Fat Ox Barbecue. Speak of the devil, because we just talked about
Hey,
it.
Ty.
He says, Christie, I need my spot for Vegas, is what he
Okay. I would love to have you. You're not that far away. Just go to bbqjackpot.com and click that registration button under the LFCA page.
She's trying to get to 110.
No, not for live fire.
No, 15 for
live fire. Oh yeah, live fire. She wants to. Yeah, you need people for live fire.
Yeah, I got 8 spots left. So yes.
Oh, that should be. I mean, well, anyway, there's a bunch of them out there. Maybe they're just like the KCBS people. They're notoriously, late to dinner. You know what I mean?
Well, I think
it's also very, very new.
I think they just don't know.
Yep.
Yeah.
I hate to tell you, as sad as it is, and I don't know how I didn't know. Ryan is the one who mentioned it on the show, and I had no idea what he was talking about. And then I'm like, when did this all start? And what rock was I under? And how did I miss it all? So yes, so I can kind of see the, and then Bailout Barbecue says, hey, y'all. So
hey.
Now we're all caught up.
Yeah. And competing in Hondo is so different. It's way more exclusive. There's sponsorships involved, and it's just a whole different game. And then obviously competing in Memphis is very exclusive. You pretty much have to qualify for that or apply. Yep. So having people aren't used to there being an LFCA competition that, I can just sign up and pay and I'm automatically in. I don't have to go through a screening process. Like, I'm in. So I think once the word starts to get out that, I mean, we've already got 7 spots filled in a couple days. So I know we're going to sell out, and I'm really confident about that. And then I know next year, once we do this again, it's probably going to sell out.
You're going to have a wait list.
Minutes.
Yeah, I bet you'll have a wait list for it.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to have 8 because Ty does say I'm in. He said he's been traveling a lot and got to go through the sign up thing. So you will have an 8th team.
Awesome. Well, and what's interesting is I've got some KCBS teams who also want to cook LFCA. And so they're asking me, they're like, can I do this? And so the answer is yes. The only clarification is that when you're cooking LFCA, you have to cook in your LFCA spot because we have to be able to monitor that you're cooking over open fire.
Yeah.
So, but you could cook your KCBS meats there if you want, or you can just have 2 spots if you have enough team members. So that's the one thing, is you have to at least have somebody cooking in your LFCA spot. And then the other thing is the turn-in times. You have to have enough people to where you can turn in your KCBS chicken at noon, but also be prepared to present your LFCA entree at noon. So you just have to have, like I said, enough people to either be at multiple spaces and then also do the turn-ins. But otherwise, absolutely, you can do both.
Interesting. Well, Ty wants to know if he signs up, if it's okay if he could cook a giraffe.
Yep, that's the cool thing about LFCA. As long as it's legal meat that's imported into the country.
That's a very good point.
Yeah. But yeah, for sure, people do alligator. People do all sorts of stuff. So
excellent. I love.
Are you going to have different judges for LFCA as KCBS? Because I know that people are going to ask you that too.
Yes, great question. So yes, we have our 189 KCBS judges that I've got to work through. LFCA will be completely different. And we'll with 15 teams, what we'll probably do is have 3 groups of 5. So we'll need 9 judges for that first round plus ambassadors. And then for the finals, we'll take the top 1 or 2 teams from each heat, and then we'll have the finals, and then the new 3 set of judges will be the final round of judges, so that it's consistent and they're judging that final round. So yeah, we'll have 12 judges most likely. I think Brianna's already coming from Married to Barbecue. I think she's going to be one of our final judges. And we're working. So right now, if you want to be a member of LFCA, there's 3 different types of memberships. There is the competition membership. So if you want to compete, you just need to have one person on your team who's the head cook be a member. If you want to judge, then that's a good place to start, is become a member there as a judge. And then as an organizer, we'll reach out to the people who are registered members as judges to see if they're interested in judging.
Yeah.
And then we'll also open up registration for that too. And then the last membership is the creator membership. And that's what ties in what Al's been doing with the Open Fire Meetup the whole time, is maybe you're not a competitive cook. Maybe you're not a judge, but man, you love cooking open fire. You love hanging out with people who do open fire. So that's where we have the creator, basically the social media type of membership, and you join that, and that helps kind of get you more insider for the open fire meetup and the different events that we do and different activities, and get you that media pass to these types of events so you can really get in there and get that content that you want.
I love that.
You know what? Well, what I want to know is for this future of this competition thing is what is the criteria for judging? Because what I'm afraid of, because open fire is such an amazing, wild, crazy, whatever goes. What are you putting in place to somewhat try to stop it from becoming like regular competition barbecue where everybody's trying to hit this flavor profile and everybody's trying to have it taste like this and so that everything doesn't just start tasting exactly, that you don't lose the creativity and the beauty that is open fire.
Yeah. And I definitely don't want that to happen, because that's why I'm the girl who cooks Asian ribs at KCBS contests and gets 6s and 7s in them because I'm trying to break the mold, and
You're like me, and I won't do cheesecake at any competition. I'm like, let's branch out, people.
Right. But I think what is great about LFCA is because SCA did the same thing. I mean, but I think it's because it's one type of protein that it just kind of evolved to where everybody did the round steak with, similar seasonings, and everybody wins a contest and then sells the seasonings that do that. But I think because the proteins and the sides and the entrees are so, it can be anything. Now, does that mean that we're not going to start seeing everybody doing tomahawks and mashed potatoes and asparagus because it wins? It could go that way. But I think I don't feel like the judges would reward that in this type of environment if it all was the same. Because
I mean, just judging like at Memphis in May and being one of the judges and stuff, I'm looking for creativity. So you're also presenting to us. It's not just here's a box, right? So they're telling me why they made it, how they made it, what they poured into it. So you're hearing the passion behind it as you're tasting these flavors and why they infuse those flavors and why they're pairing this side dish with the meat. Like, it's a whole immersive experience. It's not just meat in a box.
Yeah.
So I think you're always going to keep that creativity, which is a blessing. You're probably going to start seeing some people, some of the similar things like you said, but hopefully everybody is pouring in their creativity to each dish.
Yeah.
That's my only fear, because I love watching the open fire, and I love all the, Ty was nice enough to take us around Memphis in May, and like you said, just seeing all the different cookers and the passions that the fun that everybody was having. Dark Side of the Grill with his flipping Viking ship, and then with the looked like a big carousel. I mean, it's become like it's this fun thing, and you'd hate to have a competition like start corralling that, because everybody's going to start. But I like how you're going to have different aspects to it, where you can be just the entertainer and cook, or you can be a competitor. It just depends on what your mindset's going to be.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Also tell them about, our judging criteria. So it is completely different than like KCBS, for example, too.
Good
so
point.
that's a very good point, because
qualifications.
There you go. Qualifications to be a judge, but also it is going to be very different than judging SCA or judging MBN or judging KCBS. Like, we're looking for completely different things.
Yeah. So I'm pulling the rules up here to get the actual percentages.
I'm going to grab my phone charger. I'll be right back.
Yeah, sure. So first of all, I think one of the questions is, what's the criteria to be a judge? So to be a judge, first you have to be a member of LFCA, which you can go to livefirecookingassociation.com, click on join, and then just choose that judge membership, and it's $50 a year. From there, to actually be selected as a judge, what will happen is the different contests will have basically judges registration, just like every other contest. And if it's a contest that you are interested in going to, then you would apply to be a judge. And then the organizer basically decides whether or not to select you. It is a little bit tighter and harder to judge these competitions because we don't need as many judges, to whereas I need 150 judges for the KCBS because it's 97 teams. I only need 12 judges for the LFCA, but then we also need ambassadors in addition to judges. So it's kind of like having table captains. The ambassadors actually walk the judges around to their next locations. We don't at this point have a certification training like KCBS and SCA. You go through certification trainings. What we actually do, and again, this might change because this is all brand new, but what we do right now is we basically set up a Zoom call before the competition and we go through what the rules are and we talk about it and make sure there's any questions that the judges have are answered. We set up multiple Zoom calls because not everybody's always available at the same time. But then we also have a judges meeting before the event. Before the contest, we go through the app so that the judge is comfortable with using the app. We set up a mock contest so they can get in there, they can see how it works. But like I said, it's really like tap a button and there's your score. So that's how that all works. And then from a scoring standpoint, the judging criteria, 15% is presentation. Presentation is not what your dish looks like. It's that oral presentation that Sunny was talking about. It's explaining what you cooked, why you cooked it, how you cooked it over live fire. It's the whole ambiance and you really selling your dish to the judges. 15% after that is appearance, and that is, does your dish look appetizing? Do I want to eat this tomahawk or whatever you cook? Does it look like it's too rare, too, chicken underdone? Like you're looking at those appearance things. Technique is 20%. That comes down to the technique that you used over live fire. Did you do something that was unique and creative? Did you cook your chicken all the way through? This is kind of a little bit where your tenderness would fall as well. We don't have a separate tenderness category, but like your technique, was it cooked properly to where the tenderness is nice? 30% is flavor because flavor is king. So that's, the overall flavor of, it's kind of self-explanatory. Did it taste good? And then there's a category, which is kind of similar to SCA, which is overall impression. So that's 20% of your score. The other scores that I mentioned are scaled 8, 9, or 10. And then that overall impression can be 8.1, 8.2. It's got a decimal point in there. And that is where like everything combined, how amazing or not was this dish. And that also kind of helps us with tiebreakers. We have a whole tiebreaker system too, but just overall, how wowed were you as a judge? And like I said, you put all that into the phone. And the other cool thing about the phone is that you can put in any comments that you want. So maybe you gave a 9 instead of a 10 in flavor, and you really want that team to know why. You can say, it was just a little bit salty, cut back on the salt next time, and this would have been a 10. And it's so much easier to do it on your phone instead of having to write a note and pass it. So it should encourage more feedback to the teams, which I think will make the teams better. And Susie, sorry, it's not Susie. I know you get
we're
that
all together.
Sunny, Sunny can speak to that because she used that judging system and she was able to put her comments in there for the teams as she was judging them.
I did, and I got a lot of feedback from the teams, and they even came up to me afterwards and thanked me for giving them feedback, because if you can't get the feedback, you don't know where you need to improve. So that's what makes it hard with some of the other sanctioning bodies. Not all the comments make it back to them, or some of them don't even allow comments. So they're not knowing what they need to improve on. They're just guessing based on the numbers in that category. So this made it super simple. I can just type in, if it needed more salt or whatever the issue was and why I gave them a lower score. Typically, I'm a judge that I will give positives and negatives because they need to know that they're doing well in certain areas. And then also, here's where you could improve upon, because you need to know you're doing great, but there's always room for growth, right? So I love that. Also, we were able to take photos. So being able to take a photo of the dish that they were presenting to us, and that gets uploaded. This is what I saw. Let's say it was, something with appearance. I could be like, in the photo attached, this is why you got docked on appearance, whatever it was. Or this was absolutely beautiful. I loved how you plated XYZ. It was really, really cool to be able to add photos and comments in that.
And then all of the scores also, it's more like sports are nowadays, and we're in 2026. We really wanted to be advanced with this. As soon as the scores are done, they are uploaded into the leaderboard on our website, and that way people can immediately see what their scores are. And I know KCBS does that kind of stuff too, but I mean, it's pretty instantaneous that everything's up there. And then once we do our team of the year and things like that, all of that information will be on there as well.
It's because Christie's the technological guru.
Actually, I got to give Mike Starr the credit for that one. That was
Really?
his baby. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, he took charge of the app.
Yep. And for those who are curious, it's cookoffscoring.com is the app. It's basically an online portal that you obviously can't get too far in there unless you're a judge or you're an event organizer. But as a team, you can see the leaderboard. And right now, what you'll see in there is the Memphis and May results.
Oh, Ty was mentioning. He said he wondered if there was a pic of my dessert turn in. Is that from Memphis and May, Ty? Your dessert turn in Memphis and May. So
I'd have to log in and see if I could see it on there. I'm not sure.
Eric.
So coming from the judging side, I was only allowed to take one photo per team that got uploaded into the app. I know that Mike was working on changing that so that we could add more, but for the Memphis and May one, we could only take one per team for the app. Now, when I was going around, I was taking photos of everything that I was eating, but that was strictly my decision. So yeah.
And that is the other thing that's cool about this, because it's not blind judging. We allow people to take pictures. Like, you can't, there's so many rules in KCBS which I respect and appreciate the whole double blind system. You can't be taking a picture and showing the numbers, and then you could be texting that, hey, does this look like yours? And and it can skew the judges. So there's no phones happening in a KCBS tent. Yeah. But because what we're doing is so social and is so communal, and the judging is not blind, so they already know who they're judging, which is really why it's really important for us to get very fair and impartial judges as well. But that allows them to take the pictures and share them and upload them to social media, because that's the way that you build this sport. That's what this is all about. Is food is community, and so we want to share that.
Yeah. Now, I will say, as a judge, I did take all those photos. I did not post them until after all winners were announced, just to be respectful of all competitors and everything that was going on. But afterwards, it was like, this is the awesome stuff that I got to judge, and look at these amazing, teams, blah, blah, blah. So I had that for later, but during, I'm not going to post it immediately. I'm not going to come from Steve's tent and be like, oh, this is the hamburger, but now I got to go judge another one. So I'm not going to do that. So out of respect for all the competitors and stuff, I did wait until later to post all of that.
Well, but I think that's huge what you were talking about with the photos, because sometimes you get the comments card back and they're like, oh, she's absolutely nuts, she's crazy. But if you can actually do a picture and circle it, like, this is why I said this comment. I mean, that's kind of like, oh, she was right, or now I see it. Yeah, she wasn't just making it up, or she's just overcritical, or they're just picking on me, or whatever it is. So. Yeah, Ty was talking about his dessert he said it was terrible. Oh. Ty, we're not starting fights with people on the show.
I didn't get to judge yours, so I don't know.
not you. He's I know who he's. I know what's going on, and I'm staying above it, Ty.
One of my biggest struggles in KCBS for my first 2 years of cooking is that I would continuously get a couple of 7s on ribs and tenderness, kind of going full circle where we were before. Yeah. And I never knew if it's because they were too tight or
overdone.
Over.
Yes.
And you would think that a person would know what your ribs are like, but you cook them to such a close margin of being tight and being tender that you never knew. And then they seize up when they go in the judges' tent. So I always assumed, okay, maybe they got too tight, but then I don't know. I eat one and maybe it's too tender. And then you never know unless you get a comment card. And, it finally took trial and error before I realized where I needed to take my ribs to. But having that feedback, if somebody would have just told me, your ribs were tight, I'd have been like, oh, that's okay. Now I know what to fix. And so with LFCA, hopefully we can get there. Yeah.
Same thing. Pork was my nemesis forever years. I mean, it took me forever to get a call on pork, and it was the same thing. Was it too mushy? Was the money muscle not done? What was it? And you don't know, especially on those categories where you're putting in multiple pieces of the muscle. Yeah. So that's tricky, because it's I don't know. Was it my money muscle that threw me off, or was it my pulled? Yeah. No clue.
Yep.
Yeah, that's interesting. So, but you're not going to have any standards for. I mean, is it? It's based on your taste. I mean, it's not like you're going to have this is what a rib should taste like thing, and this is like. It is.
Not everybody's guaranteed to do ribs, so you can't.
Well, no, but I'm just saying it's like. But I'm just saying it's like everybody's palate is different. So, I mean, it's just like,
which I think it is. I think it is in KCBS and SCA as well. But I think what's happened though is that KCBS has been around for so long, and Kansas City style sweet barbecue sauce is what people are expecting.
Yeah.
SCA round steaks with, tons of seasoning on it, or that one bite pop. That's what the judges are expecting. And so it's really hard to sway. And I'm on judges calls. I go to judges webinars, and they're like, God, we want something different. I'm like, do you? Because I'm about to drop $2,000 on this competition. Is it worth me taking a risk to give you Asian ribs? Do it. And then I do it, and I get 3 judges give me perfect scores, and 1 judge gives me a 6 in taste.
Yep.
So,
I've had the same thing happen.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, and other teams aren't going to spend $2,000 and take that kind of risk. And I've done it like 3 times now. And I did get 11th place with them once. But yeah, you're right. Judging is completely an independent thought. Some people like blue cheese. Some people hate it. Some people like goat cheese. Some people hate it. But World Food Championships is a similar kind of system. I mean, it is. Yeah. I mean, we have the basics, and we do have general information about I mean, we can't really tell you what tastes good. That is kind of a personal preference. But from a presentation, if the person's sitting there looking all grungy and all sweaty and stuff I mean, those are going to be some obvious things. You want it to be a nice presentation, almost like a job interview type of like selling it. So yeah, there'll be some guardrails, I should say. But it is pretty open to a judge's opinion. And I mean, that's kind of competition, a lot of competition sports, really.
It is.
Ty is very excited today about this show. He said he loves the way it is. He said it's way more creative. And he said, I mean, cinnamon toast crunch sausage. I mean, crazy. And that was my good friend, Christie Vanover. Yeah. And those guys over there. Speaking of which, that they will be on next week.
Fun.
But it's a big show next week for everybody that's in this one. It will be, we are celebrating National Wing Day a week early. And so we are going to be having a bunch of people on from the Melinda's Wing Battle that will be held in Hondo. So we got Chef Fig scheduled to appear anyway. Chef Fig, we got Chris Bonotto, we got Mike Johnson, and I think Mike Starr at this point. So we're
awesome. That'll be a good show.
People next week. So yeah,
that'll be fun.
If Chris can stay under control. Ty had him at Memphis in May, and for 5 minutes, and not even 5 minutes, and it went off the rails fast. So
I love Bonotto.
He's funny.
Yeah, Bonotto and I did Barbecue Brawl together, so I've known him since then. He is an amazing chef and super fun.
Sonny, you were on Barbecue Brawl. Both of you guys were on Barbecue Brawl.
We were, yes. Yeah, I was on season 3.
Yep, and I was season 4.
Okay. What did you think about Barbecue Brawl? See, I've watched the show, and I think I've talked to it with Sonny a bunch of times. I've talked to it, and you don't cook and it's Barbecue Brawl, but it almost should be kind of like Grilling Brawl or something, because you're not exactly like cooking. Like I watched it.
It's a little bit more chefy. I wouldn't say that
I watched it as a barbecue. I I run a barbecue department. I'm like, I want to see these people cook barbecue, and they're cooking. I think I remember the one season I did. I don't know who it was, when the gentleman wanted to, we're going to go healthy today. We're going to make barbecue salad. And I'm like, okay, well, no one except maybe Sonny would make a barbecue salad. You know what I mean? I mean, it's the last thing I'm thinking about when someone says barbecue is I'm going to go have a salad. You know what I mean? So I get it. But it was just like barbecue salad. I mean, I get it. I mean, what was your overall experience for the brawl? I mean, did you feel like it should be renamed something else, or do you feel that it was?
I mean, I didn't go that deep into it. It's definitely like a hot and fast grilling competition for the most part. But there were a couple long cooks. There were opportunities where you get to a 5-hour cook or a 6-hour cook. But it was definitely more to start a grilling based competition for sure.
Yep, for sure.
But
I wouldn't say that it was like barbecue long hour cooks or anything like that. And they're throwing things at you very last minute. So you have to, if we're in barbecue, if Christy and I are in barbecue, we have a plan well ahead of time. We have a timeline. We have a plan. We know that this is going to be an overnight cook. You're not going to do things last minute. It just doesn't work that way with barbecue. So should it be called something different? Probably. Was it a lot of fun, and would I do it again? Absolutely. Absolutely, in a heartbeat.
Well, I think all of them would be fine. I mean, I would go and cook the World Championship burger. I would cook on any show just because I think it would be fun just to hang around. I mean, obviously it's like a show's got to become like just a regular competition. I mean, again, we're such a small family that everybody knows you're basically always cooking with family. So it's like, it's fun no matter what you do because you're all used to goofing with each other. I just think it would be a fun time to do it. I would go cook. I'd cook open fire with you and Sonny and compete against you. I would my stuff would probably come looking charred and disgusting, but I would probably still have like the best time of my life because it would just be fun cooking with everybody.
Yeah, the after hours on Barbecue Brawl, I have to say that was really cool because that's when I got to know Bonotto. That's when I got to know Chuck better. And that is when like you're done with the day and you're just unwinding and you're hanging out. And then that's when you're just chatting about like what you did, what you hope you get to do, and then just life and, you know, just the barbecue community. And then you just kind of bond that way. And so, yeah, with that show, that was definitely a really cool component. And then you make lifelong friends.
We didn't have that.
Oh, you didn't?
We filmed during COVID.
So that's right.
No, we filmed during COVID.
That's
so
right.
It was put your mask on, do a COVID test, go on set, take it off, put it back on. And then we were isolated to our hotel room. We couldn't even meet up as a group. So we didn't have that same opportunity.
We had the masks and the COVID test, but it was afterwards. We didn't have to stay totally isolated. We did have to do like the 6-foot thing, but we didn't have to do the.
Well, so then
we
Sonny,
were in our hotel rooms.
So then your castaway experience then had to be exceptionally better because you actually got to enjoy not having masks and being locked around. You actually got to socialize and do stuff. So that means your castaway thing should have been.
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, we had a lot of time together as like a group and to get to know people and just to see where everybody came from because there were 3 of us that were pit masters and all the rest were like culinary trained chefs. So to see backgrounds and, you know, different techniques and skill sets and all the things, it was awesome. It really was awesome. Yeah.
And then Greg was saying that I was being harsh and I don't know what was I being, because I said Sonny would make a barbecue salad. I mean, come on, this fit queen over there. Are you kidding me? I mean,
I grill salad, so you know it's okay.
Barbecue healthy. I mean, every time she came to the store to do a class, it was you had to start off with a salad and then you had the main course.
I will teach you a grilled wedge salad that's unbelievable.
Yeah, she would always cook all 3, you know, salad, main course, and then the wonderful dessert.
Appetizer, salad, main course, and then sides with it and a dessert. That's just usually what my classes are.
I should add salad as an ancillary at the LFCA.
Oh my gosh, they're so fun to play with. Like Brooklyn. So Brooklyn did one at the NBBQA thing. She did it as one of her side dishes, and Tuffy freaking loved it. He was like, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing!" Like she char grilled the bok choy to go in it, and all the different elements. It was that would be super fun. Yep, totally agree.
I think I was watching some of that MBBQA with Brooklyn, or maybe it wasn't.
I have so much that I haven't posted.
She's got a game face. That's all I can say.
She's a mini me to a T times 10 and gonna go so much farther than me. I'm gonna retire and be her like manager. Like that's my goal in life.
But Sonny, it's like you'll have like a game face and then laugh or make a. I mean, she was like,
she's focused. You're not taking her off track.
If you're in my way, you're going on to grill. Yeah. I mean, it was just get out of my way.
Yes.
I'm doing something.
She's very focused. She's got her paper and she's like, next, execute onto this, done. But her presentation skills are unbelievable. For a 16-year-old, it's crazy to see the amount that she's learned and picked up. Because she used to compete in the kids' Qs back when I was starting with Christie. She did the little KCBS kids Qs. So she's been doing it a long time. I just don't post about my girls. It's just one of my weird things. So I'm just not one of those moms. I'm really protective over them and stuff. So, but she's getting more into it. She's actually pursuing a career in culinary. So
that's her cookies.
Yeah. Tuffy's one of her mentors. Like she's got some amazing mentors and stuff that are helping her get to places. So it's unbelievable. Yeah.
Excellent. So Christy,
I should bring a Future of Q Kids like thing out to your live fire event. That's what we should do.
There you go.
We'll talk about
Christy,
that later.
So Christy, your products, anything, any like new flavors coming out? Christie has some of the best products you'll ever find on the shelf.
Thank
I can
you.
honestly say she probably was, if not number one, she was number two. I probably may not, maybe number three. At Thanksgiving, her chicken rub was, I think, my third best seller. I've found that last year for Thanksgiving, everybody was somewhat moving back towards that traditional seasoning flavor, away from barbecue type of flavor to that regular and Christie's hit the spot. And I got on the tasting section, and everybody they're like, oh, rosemary, this, and it's like, no, trust me, it's really good. I said, here, go taste it. And they tasted like, oh, that's exactly what I'm looking for.
Ah, great. Love hearing
But
that.
any new flavors?
Nope. Chicken, brisket, and pork, and then the pastrami kit. And that has been doing phenomenal. That's been doing so
awesome.
well. And I've been having so much fun with making pastrami out of new things. Yesterday, I posted pastrami tuna, and I had no idea how it would turn out. So basically the pastrami kit comes with the brine and the rub, and you make the brine, you put your meat in the bag, whatever meat you want, brine it for a few days, and then take it out, rinse it, and then add the rub and then cook it.
Yeah.
And I've done it with salmon, and salmon was great, but I was like, how is tuna going to be? And I was not confident it was going to be good. I tell you, I do not know why every deli counter does not have pastrami tuna.
Okay, now I got to try it.
It was one of the
Pastrami
best things
tuna.
ever. Yes, I love a tuna melt, and I love a pastrami sandwich. And it was totally like a pastrami tuna melt. Like it was, I did it with Swiss cheese on sourdough bread.
Oh my
It
gosh.
was so good.
Okay,
Yeah.
that sounds amazing.
So anyway, so there's a story behind the pastrami kits at Wanamaker's that I felt like I should share because Christy knows part of it, but she doesn't know the end story of it. So I reached out. I personally love pastrami. It's one of my favoriteest things in the whole wide world to eat. And I saw when Christy came out with the kits, I was like, oh my God, she's coming out with these kits. And then I waited along, and finally she goes through Patio Provisions, and it showed up in the thing. I'm like, oh my God, they're there. And then I looked, and it was a case of 6. And I know people at Wanamaker's, unfortunately, for some reason, they don't like to buy kits. So I'm like, oh, so I sent the thing to Todd Bullock, and I said, hey, can I get just 2? Is there a way I can break the pack of 6? And he's like, don't ask me. You got to ask Christy. So I reached out to Christy, and she was nice enough and kind enough to say, yes, go ahead. Let's do that. So we worked it all out. The order comes in. Christy, this is the part you don't know, I don't think. Order comes in. I'm opening it up. I open up this box, and it's got 6 in it. And I'm like, uh-oh, what happened? And I went back. I'm like, did I screw up or so I went back and I looked. The invoice from Patio Provisions said 2. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll put that aside because I'm going to have to call Todd and let him know. So then I go back to open the next box. It's another box of 6. So I called.
Know this happened.
No. So I called Todd and I said, dude, you're never going to guess what happened. And he's like, what? He's like, I ordered the 2 pastrami kits, 2 boxes of pastrami. And he's like, yeah, he said, I saw a pack. We put it down and I gave it to the person. I said, dude, no, I got 2 full cases of pastrami kits. And he's like, no way. And he's like, yeah. And he's like, that must have happened I was literally there when they packed it. I said, I'm telling you, it's the funniest thing. So long story short, the part that Todd doesn't know is I've sold 2 pastrami kits. Yay. So I sold the 2 that Christy said I could have. Now I just have to work on the other 8, but or another 10. But I did work it out with Todd, and we're going to work a way to bill it based on whatever. So it was just kind of funny that it was just like, after all this, I was so happy that Christy said yes, I could have
Sorry
these 2
about
pastrami
that.
kits. Because I love pastrami, and I was like, I got to have these kits for my customers, and I get these 2 boxes, so I had 12
Oh
kits.
my
And I'm like,
goodness.
thank God I know Todd. Hopefully we can work something. Because he's like, well, I'll send you a thing to send it back, and I'm like, dude, it's like if you're not like desperate need of them, I said, rather than pay to send them back, let me just leave them here, and if I sell them all, I'll ask you to bill me.
Sure.
I said, but I mean, to send them all the way back is kind of silly. So
Sure.
that's the story to pastrami. So get to Wanamaker's. We have 10 pastrami kits that were, I said 8, but I lied. It's 10.
And we're all going to try tuna.
Yes.
And you can now obviously see that you can do other pastrami stuff besides just the regular pastrami. You can actually do pastrami tuna and all kinds of other fun things. So anyway, well, anything else you'd like to talk about, Sonny?
I think we're running out of time, but I think that Christy has something to tell us to watch. I mean, we all need to
What?
be watching her. Yeah.
Christy, are you supposed to, for anybody that's left, the 4 people that are left, go ahead, promote your.
Yes. So we've talked about Barbecue Brawl. We've talked about Chopped Castaways. And now hopefully you guys all know about Pitmasters, which is the new barbecue series that's on Food Network on Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern. And it's also on HBO Max if you stream the following day. So that is really exciting. I'm actually on a team with Susie Bullock. So there are 9 teams competing against each other. And Susie and I are I think they coined us the fierce ladies of barbecue. So
I love it.
Episode 1 dropped on last Monday, just a few days ago. So if you haven't seen that, go back and watch that. We did make it to the next round, so you can see us next week on episode 2.
Yay! Super
Yay,
cool.
we made it without getting in trouble. Which is probably more.
And one thing
more
kind
my
of
fault.
circling from what we talked about with Barbecue Brawl. One thing, if you haven't seen the show yet, that is really cool, is it is long, big burns, 9 hours, 10 hours. So
That's
yes.
awesome. That's
Yes.
super, super cool. Yep.
So
And actually, you can see it I'm actually shocked because usually Food Network does lock it down. But I was trying to figure out if Christy advanced or not. So I didn't really want to watch the whole episode, but I did found it where you could actually kind of see it for free. And I was kind of like, well, I was trying to prepare for the show, Sonny. So I was trying not to I didn't want to have to watch the whole hour episode. I watched the beginning. I wanted to see who was competing. And if I knew how many people I knew, and then it was like, okay, I just want to get to the end. And then of course, obviously we can't say much about anything, but anyway, so, well, congratulations for making it to the next round. Get out there and watch the show.
Thank you.
It looked
Yes.
really super exciting from what I did watch from episode 1. It is, as Christy and I were mentioning in the thing, it is a little bit more, not the same, but reckoned to the original Pitmaster show, which is, if you're into barbecue, that's what you're going to want to watch. So it is a great show.
I think it's awesome. It's
Thanks.
really, really cool. We needed this.
thanks.
Yeah,
I'm
I think
excited
barbecue
to
needed
see
it.
the rest of the episodes for sure.
Yeah.
Me too. I got to find a way to get it on the big TV so I don't have to watch it on my phone and squint. So. All right, everybody. Well, I'll just keep everybody here because Ryan's not here. I don't know how to do any of the other stuff. So, Christy, thank you as always for coming on the show, especially at such quick notice. Talking about the LFCA.
Yes.
I think it's really cool. I can't wait to see how this goes and where it heads to. A great idea, Al and Mike and yourself. Congratulations on starting something good. Sonny, always again, thank you for jumping on in place of Ryan.
Absolutely.
Which is not really a bad thing. I'm surprised he didn't even jump into the comments. Obviously, he must be sad or mad. But anyway, get the Wanamakers. Pick up some of. I've got all of Susie's seasonings. I do have Susie's
You probably
seasonings,
have Susie's
and I
too.
also
Yeah.
have Christie's seasonings. That's not bad. Only one mistake so far today. That's a good show. Actually, you can find them at Susie's is on top, and Christie's is on the bottom because Christie's only got 3. Susie's got 18 quadrillion. But they're all in the same section. And stop on in. You can get the pastrami kit, and you can cook it. And let me know. You can post it and all that other stuff. Greg just said, "Come on, Greg." It said, "Christy, I ordered the pastrami kit."
Thanks, Greg.
So.
Appreciate it.
Oh,
Have fun.
here, I'm sorry. Happy Pappy asked how much. I have them for, I believe, 27, which I think is the right price. Okay, yeah. Sometimes Wanamakers.
Yeah, it depends. They're a little bit more on Amazon. Yeah.
Oh no, I got Girls Gone Grilling. She said the
Hi,
tuna. The
Christy.
tuna looked delicious. Yeah, I kind of skipped.
She's
Sorry,
one
I'm
of our
not
great
really-
sponsors of the Barbecue Jackpot. So yay.
Yeah, she's. I got her stuff is up here somewhere.
Yeah.
I lost. Oh, Fat Ox also said congrats, Christy, on the. Must be about that thing we can't talk about.
Thanks, Ty.
So, all right, everybody, that's it. Tune in next week. Like I said, it's going to be a great show. It is going to be about the Melinda's Wing Battle. We're going to celebrate National Wing Day early. Everybody have a good night and enjoy, and then check for all the good stuff for next week's show. And thank you, everybody, for comments and everybody for coming in and all that other good stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate
Oh,
it.
what is it? What is your if they want to order your seasonings? I probably should say that.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
That.
Girlscangrill.com. And then there's the shop on there, or you can go to Amazon and get them. So, yeah. And you can find me on all the socials at Girls Can Grill and Live Fire Cooking Association and Barbecue Jackpot.
She's pretty much everywhere, just so you know.
Just everywhere.
Just type in her name and she'll pop up.
Yes.
From printing her own cookbooks to being
Yes.
running the whole barbecue world. All right, everybody. See you next week. And have a great week. Stay safe, be kind, do whatever. Be nice to everybody. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Now if I can get